JD here, and as you can see, we are back with some league racing action once again, this time for round 10 of the GASR series. However, this round was very different. They like to run different formats throughout the season, doing like 2 stops, 100% races, but this one was actually a mystery race or mystery track. So it could have been any of 5 tracks. It could have been Australia, Portimao, Miami, Canada, and then Jeddah here. And we didn't know until 1 minute before the lobby as we were about to start. So basically no one had any practice. We could practice the 5 tracks, but you didn't know which one it was going to be. So no one was going to be at their maximum here. And as you can see, it is raining in Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, which I don't think I've ever seen before. So yeah, definitely these conditions are catching people off guard. The race is meant to be dry, so I put on a very low downforce setup because obviously without my normal race practice, I'd like to be fully locked in with the setup. I wasn't completely confident with this setup, especially in these conditions. It was very difficult to control. But I felt in the race, if I could start near the front, one of my best strengths, I say, is consistency. So if we could start near the front and have a very quick car in a straight line, something I like to have and has worked very well for me in this game, then I felt like we could have a good result. And you can see at the start of this video, we are about 19 points behind Carl, and you can see he's just done a 36-0 here, and the track is getting quicker and quicker all the time. So we've got one more lap to do on these intermediates. And a bit of a disclaimer, as you can see by the title of this video, you're going to see a lot of frustration in this race, a lot of swearing, and no, if you've been watching me for a long time, I definitely wear my heart on my sleeve. And yeah, I do show emotion. I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, but I think it's about how you can control it. And I think, looking back at this, I think I definitely could have controlled it a lot better. No, you hear drivers in real life, they get frustrated, but yeah, and I think that's absolutely fine. However, I think I wasn't as composed as I could have been going into this and how I dealt with certain incidents in this race, which you'll see in a second. So yeah, I think maybe the mystery track element kind of caught me off guard a little bit. Didn't feel fully comfortable, and that kind of threw off my mindset. And I just think, again, yeah, my mindset as I was doing this race wasn't great. But you're about to hear or see something here now.
Oh, DRS was enabled on Ickles lap. Okay.
So this is one of the major incidents.
That makes more sense.
So yeah, I will let you just watch this, but yeah, I'll comment on it in a second.
What's he doing, man? What the fuck are you doing? You fucking idiots. What the fuck, man?
Still looking good.
How I didn't get damaged from that. What the fuck is he doing?
And yeah, this is his on board. So we were extremely lucky not to get damaged. But if you look at the mini-map, there is no one on a flying lap here. He comes out the pits. He doesn't know it's me behind, so he doesn't know what driver is behind. But he decides to completely stop on the pit exit. And yeah, we've had a discussion after the race. Everything is all good. We've moved on now. But you can see by this last lap here, the track went from wet to dry. If I lost my wing there, got damaged, I would have been knocked out in Q2. So I really was not happy with that. Not really sure what he was doing. He's a very good driver. He's a very fast driver. But yeah, I think, no, it can happen. But the awareness definitely was on point there. But you can let me know what you think of that. But we just about got through into Q3. And now this is my fastest lap. And again, I could see, or looking back at people's streams after the race, they were running much higher error than me. So people were running something like 36, 20 wings, 18. I was running 20 and then 4 rear wings. So it is a bullet in a straight line, but mainly because you can save the ERS much better. And no, I like a straight line speed setup. So if we can maximize this qualifying here, although this is not a qualifying setup, if we could just do the best we can, I felt really confident that we could have a good race. But again, because of this mystery track element, normally a couple of days before the race at least, I like to feel very secure in where the limits are in terms of the traction, how the hard, the medium, the soft tyre feels, and we haven't really been able to do that. I didn't really focus on this track that much, to be honest. I focused on tracks like Miami and Australia because those are the tracks that I think I would be struggling at a lot more. So yeah, definitely wasn't feeling fully hooked up, but I think that goes with everyone. And yeah, that incident with Hamaki there, it's all good. We moved on and passed on there, but yeah, that could have been catastrophic for my race. And no, when you're fighting for a championship, again, emotions are high. I think it's fine to show emotions. It's human nature to show frustration or react to things. But yeah, I think I just needed to get my head in the game a little bit more, keep composed, because I think I was let that affect me quite a bit. I was a little bit frustrated. And yeah, in this qualifying lap, I don't think it was really too bad. I don't think I could have really maxed this out that much more. It's a 27.6 P5 for the moment. Not too bad considering the setup, but somehow we actually started up in P4, so I'm not sure what happened to, I think it was Brawny, but starting P4, medium tyres, and it is absolutely game on. But again, you're going to see some moments of frustration here, and in hindsight and looking back and reflecting, I'll be giving my thoughts on this. So the key is just to get through this first couple of corners, and I think everyone ahead of me is starting on the medium tyres here, and we've got Ickle who's starting a little sauce behind, and yeah, Hamaki, the guy behind me. I've had a few instances of him in the past. Again, I think he's a very, very good driver, but he is a driver who definitely likes to overtake at any opportunity. And I know some people might think I'll be moaning, saying, oh, well, why am I moaning about him trying to overtake me? But for me, I feel like when I'm trying to overtake someone personally, I try and make sure that we are not losing time to the guys ahead of us, and it's not destroying, compromising both my races. So there's no point me overtaking someone if then I'm going to lose the DRS and the cars up ahead of him, or it's going to be a really dangerous situation. I think you're going to see a bit of the example of that coming through this next section here. So you can see right now there is no DRS or anything at all. It's really hard to save the battery around here, and you can see he is attacking me and going into this left-hander. You're about to see and hear the frustration. Now,
this guy is an absolute dickhead, man. He's such a dickhead, this guy.
And yeah, very, very frustrated, and
always just tries to fuck up in my race all the time.
Yeah, in a perfect world, yeah, shouldn't really express the frustration like that, but you know, for me, there's no real benefit. If he got through the inside there, we're just going to lose, arguably almost within the DRS of the cars up ahead. So I decided to give Ickle a slipstream because I wanted him behind me instead of Habaki. And yeah, but right now we are in a good position. So I just needed to keep composed, keep calm, just build into it. And you know, right here now, we are in the box seat. This is exactly where we want to be. Carl is about to be in second place, about to be overtaken by Almin, who are my other two championship rivals. So I'm right with my championship rivals, and I think I have the faster race car, especially when it comes towards the end of the race with the straight line speed and everything. So, no, we're in a really good position right now, and all I need to do is just hit the apexes, don't take too many risks. But you're about to see here now, as we go through here. Yeah. It's hard to describe what actually happened there, but I'll be giving you a little bit of a slow motion replay. But I think looking back at this a few times, I anticipated that I'd be losing the car because obviously with my 20 and then full wing, the aerodynamics, it's going to be a lot harder on the traction, not good on the downforce. It's going to be really suited to car in a straight line. So I wasn't knowing where the limits were in terms of the traction, and I think I anticipated the car would be wheel spinning underneath me or having a moment of oversteer, but then I actually then snapped the car myself when I didn't even actually lose the car. So if you give a little bit of slow motion, but if you just listen to the revs just a little bit here, so yeah, it's hard to tell again, but I don't know if I just lost the car and I tried to save it, or if I was the one who actually lost the car. But I think back at the moment, I was anticipating I was about to have a bit of an oversteer moment, so I tried to really correct it, because on this game you kind of have to anticipate it rather than actually feeling it, and because this is not like iRacing or Assetto Corsa with the true force feedback, and I think I just completely misjudged it. And yeah, with this low aero setup in that first sector, it's really, really tricky to get through there, and it was just a mistake. And it happens to everyone, happens to the best drivers. I've done it many, many times in the past before as well. But you know, when you've got this championship online, not ideal. So now we are in P18,
Oh, safety car.
and safety car has now come out. So this is a bit of a lifeline for me.
Okay, that saved me.
But you're about to see the second mistake I make. So in this moment, I was
no way
absolutely
at all.
ecstatic that we had a safety car, but you need to read that. Reduce pace to match required delta.
That saved
And
me.
my engineer was even telling me slow down.
We can
But
still do something.
for some reason, and this is so painful to watch, I just was oblivious to this above and this delta. And you're about to hear what I'm about to hear say now.
Drive-through penalty. You've been given a drive-through
What?
penalty.
What?
And yeah, I've been given a drive-through penalty, and that was again completely my mistake, and just
Have I been given a drive?
again just completely lacking the awareness. I think I was still kind of preoccupied with my mistake I made,
And
and
I
then
can't serve it under the
ecstatic
safety car,
that
can I?
the safety car came out, because that was really a lifeline for me. And I've just made the huge mistake of not seeing that delta. And no, it's not often that a safety car comes out and then you have to go to the delta, because most of the time I haven't made a mistake. I'm normally at like the front of the field or in the pack behind someone, and I'm using them as a reference,
Are you
and
fucking
that
serious?
rarely comes up unless you're miles behind the safety car. So that just really caught me off guard, and again just lacking
you
that
joking?
awareness. And I think again just not being composed. I think after this pit lane incident, the mistake I made, my head just really wasn't in the game, and we just weren't fully focused. That needs to be, and we even pitted under the safety car,
Am I going to be able to?
just hoping that we could serve it there. But I knew 99% of me that wouldn't be the case. So yeah, we're gonna have to pit again under or during this race conditions, and that means we're going to have to do a drive-through and lose a lot of time here. So we're up or back in P18 out of 19. A bit of an incident here. And you can see everyone
Safety car, though, isn't it?
he's have a bit of an incident. Hamaki involved in that, but I don't think that was actually his fault. But coming to here, we're going to have to serve this drive-through, and yeah, right now the race is not looking too good. And you can see there's another incident going into this last corner. So I think this track is catching a lot of people off guard, myself included. It's a very, very difficult track anyway, but to have it as a mystery track, yeah, not ideal. But yeah, we're going to have to serve this drive-through penalty now and just pray that we have a safety car. And if we do have a safety car, I've only done like one lap on these hard tyres, so they're going to be practically fresh tyres. So we just got to pray that there is another safety car to give us kind of like a second lifeline back into this race. But moving on to lap 9 now, and Hamaki, I think he's had a bit of damage from that previous incident, and you can see the gap up ahead is about 2 seconds, and then it's 8.1 seconds to kind of the next pack after that. And you can see after a couple of laps we really start to close in, so our pace was really good. The leader's doing a 30.6 or 30.5 with the DRS, and I'm doing a 30.8 without the DRS. So I think the pace, again confirming, I always feel confident in my race pace. And now we're right behind Finn, who's another very, very fast driver. Just trying to use him to go along as someone's retired, and a virtual safety car comes out, but we needed a real safety car. So things are just not happening for us this race. So if that became a real safety car, full blown safety car, then that would have been perfect, because it would have been almost half the race still to go, and we had basically fresh tyres. And I think the guys at the front, they're already on the hard tyres, so then they would have to go medium. That really would swing things in my favour. But as we continue this race, Finn up ahead of me. So this is another example again, and I know some people might disagree with me, but he's really, really fighting for this position. But if I was him, I wouldn't really be fighting for this. He knows that I'm faster. I've caught up by 2 seconds the last few laps. We're just wasting both each other's ERS. So for me, it's not like I want to let people pass, or I want to not overtake people at any opportunity, but sometimes you've got to think about the race ahead, and if it's going to compromise you both. But you can see another safety car has now come out, and
Come on.
yeah,
Yes.
that is a bit of a lifeline again. So we're going to go on the hard tyres, and they're basically fresh hard tyres. And if we don't have any more safety cars towards the end of the race, I felt confident that we could actually almost salvage this race, because I think all my other competition are on the mediums, which do go off after 3 or 4 laps. So yeah, I felt like this was actually an opportunity to get back into this race. But you can see everyone, it really is fighting very, very hard for every position here. So as we get the race underway again. Just trying to get a really good exit coming off this last turn, and I was just really hoping now that there was no more safety cars and we didn't have to disrupt the flow of this race. So everyone is practically on mediums ahead of me, but by around lap 20, 21, I knew the hard tyres would actually start to take over. So it's just surviving these first few laps, but then I felt very confident that we could be getting some serious points, and all it is now is about damage limitation. But as we're going through this last corner, so just another lap later, my teammate has a massive crash with someone else, and this has actually brought out the safety car. Could have died into the pits there, but my mediums are all used tyres, so
We're not going to have any
I don't know if
laps to do
it
anything
was really worth it. But the problem with this is that this doesn't help me. It just kind of resets the race, and we had to wait almost 3 laps for everyone else to catch back up to the pack, because the safety car doesn't go until the whole field has caught back up. And this means again that I'm not going to benefit from the medium bronze tyres wearing out. The hard tyres aren't really going to benefit me here. So yeah, it was really disrupting the flow of the race. So ideally from that lap 14, 15, if there was no more safety cars towards the end of the race, I think this would have suited me really well. But you'll see again throughout this race, or throughout the end of this race, you can see Hamaki trying to attack me going through into there. But the thing is, you run out of battery so quickly. So when people are defending, for me, you just got to be smart. Like, if you're just wasting all your battery defending or trying to make an overtake done, and then you have no battery on the exit of it, then you just go lose the position again. So I think it's just about driving smart at times, kind of just using each other to benefit each other in the race, to try and keep up with people up ahead of you, keep within the DRS of the pack ahead of you, not lose too much time to the drivers ahead. But in this race, I think everyone was kind of all guns blazing, and yeah, just very frustrating on my side. Just kind of, I was making quite a lot of mistakes. I wasn't driving my best, and then also I think just nothing was really going in my favour, because all these other late safety cars are just disrupting racing. So this is an example again. So you'll see Finn, he's really going to attack me here. So he's going to be using the battery. But the problem is he's completely run out of battery now. And that means I have to use my battery to then defend. So we're both wasting battery. And you'll see in the exit of this, you'll just see how much more battery I have. So we get in the DRS, and he's got the DRS as well. But because he's run out of battery, look how much time he's losing. So he's wasted all that battery to try and overtake me, and then gone underneath 10%. And then I've been forced to use it, and it's just not benefiting us at all. It means that we're just going to stay in the same positions, and then we can't attack the drivers up ahead. So I think you're going to see it again, exactly going through here. So really hard to save the battery around here. Again, I'm running this low downforce, so I'm struggling in the corners, but quick on the straights. And you'll see an exit here. There's a decent gap up ahead of us, and he decides to use his battery once again, because we've got a couple laps of his race still to go. So he uses all of his battery, so I just let him go. There's no point even using my battery here. But you'll see in the exit of this, we both have the DRS because we're close to the cars ahead. But look, he's just wasted all his battery. So again, I think it was just really pointless him attacking me, because now we're just losing time to the cars ahead, and we could have been working together to actually maybe make a couple positions up on this last lap. So I think, no, I don't make the best decisions at times, as you've seen in this race, but I think sometimes just not working together, but just working a bit smarter. No, if you go overtake someone, does it actually benefit you? Or, are you going to be overtaken again straight away? Are you going to compromise yourself? So, yeah, that just really wasn't working in my favour in this race. And I know I'm going to have to try and get signs going to it. But you can see on the exit there, we're on 70%. We're already down to 20%. That just shows how quickly you drain the battery going around this circuit. And we just about get that move done. And now we're up into 9th place. So we're actually into the points pay positions now. And all we've got to do is just see what we can salvage. So just trying to save a little bit of battery going through into SAR sector, and trying to get a good exit up here using that ERS, not using all of it, because if you go underneath the 10%, then you're going to be losing so much speed in a straight line. So here's Red Max Fashion, so he's underneath 10% of the battery, so get down the inside, just trying to salvage any points we possibly can. But you can see, because now I'm under 10%, you'll see you just lose so much straight line speed. And yeah, we end up coming provisionally P7, but I think we're probably going to be 8th or 9th, because there's a couple of people's penalties who will be removed. But yeah, a decent-ish recovery, but overall, I think, yeah, I wouldn't say one of my worst, or potentially one of my worst, but just not a great drive. Made a couple of really big mistakes. Didn't hold my composure. I think I just really lost my composure that race. And yeah, I don't know if it's a mystery track element and some of these incidents I had at the start of the race, but yeah, I feel like we could have been much more composed. And no, Carl has won the race as well. So yeah, these are the provisional standings. But yeah, we still have 9 races to go. All is well truly on, but if I need to win this championship, I'm going to have to start driving much better than this. And I've had a few race wins, quite a few race wins in this season, but we need to get our head back in the game again. But hopefully you enjoyed that. I know it was a little bit raw, but I try and make it real, try and make it authentic. So yeah, please give me your honest thoughts. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you very, very soon. Peace.